felt like I was being pulled. Well, it started in 1981 when Larry and I wanted to do an experiment in which we could see if there was some way in which people could rediscover meaningful myths, myths that were dealing with real life situations. And at that time we had no idea what those choices would be, but we wanted to do something that involved the environment and involved movement and dance. And so we started a series called Search for Living Myths and Rituals. There was a series of brutal murders on Mount Tamalpais that was happening over a period of 2 years, and it happened to be at the time that we were doing this Search for Living Myths. And what happened is that in the workshops, people began to draw pictures of the mountain, and out of those drawings, we started asking people what was coming up for them, and what came up for them was just a lot of sense of helplessness and rage that this mountain, which was such a spiritual center for the people and a way where they could reconnect with the vital forces of the natural world, was just totally taken away. The trails were closed. And so the theme of the mountain became the symbol out of which we were going to be developing this myth. We spent 9 months in workshops learning a common language together through movement, and then we developed a series of ceremonies on the mountain and then a performance. And after the performance, the killer was caught. Well, this was very stimulating and exciting to the participants, and it so happened that Don Jose Mitsua, a very old Indian Huichol shaman, had been with us, and when he heard about the ritual that we did, he said, well, you have to do it for 5 years. So actually what happened is that we spent 5 years studying and exploring and presenting different ways of expressing the idea of how we could find, once again, some peace and harmony and renewal and health in our own lives. And that's what we did with our mountain series, which has now become Circle the Earth. some great strength and unity allowed us to go to places in ourselves and in the theater that I've never been to before, that we were able to look at our own killer, for example. 100 people were able to look at their own responsibility and the lack of peace within themselves and enact that in movement and do it in front of witnesses. They were able to experience the therapeutic release, if you will, of releasing their own toxics, their own evil, and come to a sense of compassion and peace and caring for one another, and not just talk about it or dance about it, but really feel it from the inside out. That was an amazing experience, and I learned from the people actually doing it how that could be shaped in a score or into an objective artistic statement. So because of this large group is that we were able to really dive so deep into the essence of what it is to create peace in yourself and with each other, that was able to be condensed in a very precise score. And what I discovered was that I could take this score, which had taken us 5 years to evolve, and I could condense it into 3 or 4 days in which I could teach people how to experience this and how to perform it in that short a time, because we were able to get right to the essence. And the only way, I must say this again, was because there were so many of us committed that we were supporting each other in totally new ways. I just got a letter from somebody I met when I was in India at a conference who's a cultural attaché, and her name is Barbara Good, and she said, I'm in Jordan now. Wouldn't it be wonderful to bring Circle the Earth to Jordan? And then I'm saying to myself, and I've been to Israel, and wouldn't it be wonderful to bring it to Israel and bring the two groups together? And what a nice model this would be all over the world, to start going to the most troubled areas and start doing this dance and with people, and then bring the two groups that are alienated dancing together, because dance is movement, and movement is a universal language, and it just cuts through all barriers of misunderstanding. It would be great if we could have enough facilitators to be doing it in different parts of the world at the same time, and then just create this explosive amount of creative, energetic peace and vision that would, in a sense, cover the planet.